Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Something wrong here. No transmission.
How you doing? Okay, it's time to do the talky bit, I suppose. We're just coming up towards 8 o'clock, British summertime, 1900 UTC. Welcome to VirtualFlight.Online. If you've never flown with us before, we do this every week, usually on a Sunday evening, flying a route somewhere in the world. The only real requirement is to keep things family friendly, so if you are taking part in the spoken conversation en route, we don't mind what people talk about as long as it's family friendly, so no politics, no dirty jokes, nothing like that, because we want to keep it inclusive and not get into trouble for anything. Okay, the cruising speed we should all kind of try to aim for is about 120 knots. If you do get massively ahead of the group, just think about looping back into the group maybe, or flying a circuit at the next airfield while you're waiting for everybody to catch up with you. But otherwise, just have fun. So, shall we get going?
Sure.
So the first leg is 27 nautical miles, 346 degrees over to Lesignan-Corbière. So if anybody can't see everybody else, we're on the Southeast Asia server in Flight Simulator. Oh, another tip, if you put your nav lights on, then everybody will be able to see the twinkling lights in the sky, which will look quite cool. I'm going to fly a circuit at this first airfield just to see everybody taking off because it looks quite cool. Afternoon.
Evening.
Everybody's being very well behaved on the runway, I have to say.
Soon fix that.
That's more like it.
Sunset's going to be spectacular, isn't it?
Yep.
Evening all.
Good evening. How you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks.
What's an SVGR?
Savage gravel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we quite often see those on the group flights, don't we?
Yeah, I used to fly one quite a lot. I hadn't remembered it for a while, I don't know why.
Is that the one with the big balloon tyres?
Yeah. And a big V8 engine.
Right, so it can climb out of trouble anywhere.
It's based on... I can't remember the guy's name. But it's based on a real aircraft. It's a Solo.
I think I've seen a video of one landing in the middle of a stream on a bit of a sandbank.
Yep.
10 foot long, ridiculously slow landing speed.
It takes off from the same place.
Yeah.
If nobody has any objections, I'd like to record the flight tonight, just to stick it in the archive so we can show other people what the group flights are about.
Absolutely.
See ground injection.
Do we have to fly responsibly, or
No,
that's okay then?
as long as you don't start swearing
That's okay.
impressively.
But them's the rules anyway, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Can't speak for my co-pilot.
So if I try and get to each airfield fairly near the front of the pack, and then I'll circuit and watch everybody's landings for posterity purposes, then.
In FS Realistic, I've had him screaming a few times on landing.
Yeah, I may manipulate the time on the way to keep it at sunset for the entire route, just for photography purposes.
Artistic license.
Yeah.
I got dusk. It's gone quite orange.
Yeah, the sun's about to go down.
Yeah, I just fixed that.
Good morning, all. I'm back. I've finally got the sound working.
Hooray!
Good morning from me.
Hi.
Hello, future.
I haven't been able to hear anybody this morning. I'm a bit frustrated. Hey, I love this new caravan, Jonathan,
It's good, isn't it?
along with the 60-page manual.
I know. And the manual really doesn't touch on how things work. It just says this is this instrument.
Getting the 750 working and all that sort of thing. Yeah.
It's very good, isn't it? Being able to change the radios at the flick of a switch.
Oh, that's too complicated for me.
So I was reading this afternoon the release notes for the 737 for the update that came in for it a couple of days ago. And the guy at PMDG, is it Robert, the guy in charge there?
So, yeah.
He mentioned in the notes at the end that Sim Update 10 is going to bring with it the weather radar that's missing from everything.
Oh.
So we'll finally have proper weather radars. Or I guess we'll have it in the aeroplanes where they are updated to use it. Not that there's any weather here to appear on a weather radar.
Soon over there.
Yeah.
Now it's snowing.
There's quite a good, quite a few good updates coming, can't there? Over the next week? I watched a video by the guy I can't stand the voice of.
Yeah, I know the one you mean.
Sounds automated, doesn't it?
It does. He reminds me of an English actor, but I can't think of the actor's name either.
David Thewlis.
A little bit. It's interesting though, because when you're conveying a lot of information quickly, the tone of voice, he may be doing it on purpose to make it kind of sound interesting. There used to be back in the early days of, when the Web 2.0 and everything was all going on and all the social internet first happened, there was a female YouTuber called Callie Lewis. It wasn't her real name, but she did news updates nearly every day of what was happening with the internet. And she did several programs about how she made, or how the videos were put together. She had to train herself to talk almost twice as fast as a normal person.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That if you don't talk fast, then the video's twice as long, isn't it?
Yeah, so she basically had to rehearse the entire news segment and then speak it very quickly and very accurately.
That's like that one advert on the TV drives me dirty crackers. That about bed mattresses. The actual advert lasts for about 2 minutes. If they repeat it once, they repeat it 10 times.
Well, that's a good advert then, isn't it? Because you've remembered it.
Working.
No, because I turn it over.
No, but you've just mentioned it to us, so it's sunk in with you.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like
we all know
washing-
about
washing
it.
powder adverts. Traditionally, they're the worst in the world ever, but they stick in your mind.
Right, so wind is from the east 6 knots, so I'm guessing runway 08 at Lesignan.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm looking for.
So I'm going to go the opposite direction to film everybody. I'll fly around the back of the airfield.
I'm doing all a bit. Got crap ahead of everybody else.
Slow.
Right, have
Yeah,
you, Jonathan, have you got
Yeah, here a wee
everybody's
bit.
aircraft?
What, on transmitter or
No, in your sim, have you got
no?
every
Not all
aircraft,
of them,
every
but
design?
I've got quite a few, but not everything.
So you're not going to get any 320s, is what I mean.
Oh no, I don't think so. When I was watching people take off, there were quite a few caravans. There were a few Kodiaks. There were a few other bits and pieces, but yeah, looked quite good. There was a twin otter I spotted.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Right, I can see the airfield.
Couple helicopters.
Yep. I've got the 135. I haven't got the 145.
No, I ditched the helicopter.
So I'll probably have a hovering Mooney at some point, I guess.
So did you see me and Crunchy Bob in movies?
Yes.
That's a shame.
I'm guessing you had the 145?
Yes.
Yeah.
best, in my opinion, the best helicopter there is.
I've seen a few people with gliders recently. I think there's a glider out, isn't there?
There is. I don't think gliders work for multiplayer sessions. Well, they might.
Yeah, they do. I can even hook it up to people. Take off on happen to yeah.
Jonathan, I have a question for you about Ghostery.
Yep.
You mentioned that last week. I could not find a free version of that. Is it all paid?
No, it should be free. I'll find a link for it.
Oh, thank you.
I'll look it up for you, yeah.
All I could find is paid versions.
I think when you install it, you get the free version automatically, so it may only show you paid options, but it's actually working already, if that makes sense.
Yes, thank you. I'll give that a shot.
There's a lot of airplanes coming in.
I'll do a circuit. I'm getting ahead of everybody.
Oh, sorry, Lyndon.
Don't worry, I'm used to it.
It's very cool seeing the stream of lights coming in on approach.
Oh no. Lost control. I have no control. Now I do again.
That's my passenger screaming.
My controls froze for some reason.
I was going to say, surely you just press Y, don't you, if it starts acting up?
No, I wasn't quick enough.
Okay, touch and go. Okay, so the next leg is 70 degrees, 29 nautical miles to Vias. I'll start winding the clock back so it doesn't get too dark.
What are those five massive wind
Yeah, they're
turbines?
huge, aren't they?
It looks like there's 5 on the other side as well.
Yeah, they're not far short of 1,000 foot. I'm at 700, 800 going past them, and they're just below me.
Oh, load of them ahead, further ahead.
There's a huge great crane right in the middle of nowhere. Yes, it's going to build a skyscraper.
Just formatting with another caravan.
I'm trying to find you, Jonathan. I saw that and I was going to come and join you.
He's on your right hand side.
Thanks for that. I'll go searching. Oh, here we go.
Right, my plane is falling out of the sky every 2 minutes.
Where are we on the route? Let's have a look.
09 for VS.
Looks like it. There's hardly any wind though, so yeah, just go straight in. I'll lose a little bit of this height. I'll do the same again and fly past the airfield and come back, hopefully in time to see everybody coming in. we had a final count up yet on Discord? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 22, 30, 32 people.
Wow. That's on Discord. There's some that aren't on Discord.
Yeah. I just,
Nice.
while counting them, I nearly took some trees out, which was useful.
Not many pylons about, is there?
I just missed a few minutes ago.
You're in the wrong place, Dave.
I ain't seen any.
There are lots of them along the river.
There's a big quarry here. Interesting, they've modelled that quite accurate. Well, presumably accurate.
It's fine. Two.
Right, anybody following me will be going the wrong way for the runway. The airfield's to our left. Yep, straight into this airfield. I'm only circling it to film everybody.
There's one after this. We're stopping, aren't we?
Yes, it's the halfway point at the next airfield.
was behind a Twin Otter, I believe, and trying to maintain separation, but that thing goes slow.
They're not renowned for their speed.
There's a couple of warbirds up here with us as well, isn't there?
There's at least one spit.
There's one. Chasing in my caravan doesn't look very well.
Right. Yeah, I think a caravan could probably outturn a Spitfire.
Yeah, they'll catch him first.
Okay, so next leg is how many miles?
31.
What's the mouse?
57 degrees.
That's the one. So we're flat out through the pack again. Autopilot on. Okay, so we're heading towards Montpellier. It's a full stop here, a 5-minute break for anybody to go get a coffee or comfort break, whatever they need to do. So looking at, I'm just looking now, the wind on the ground at Montpellier is 220 degrees, 7 knots, so it's crosswind basically. We can take our pick, runway 30 or 12 really. There's 2 runways. So if anybody's got a short takeoff plane or short landing, they can go for the right runway on runway 12.
Might do an ILS landing there on 30.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it might be quite a picturesque approach on runway 30 because you come in over the water. So you could fly along the beach and then turn into the runway.
A lot of planes already there by the looks of it.
Got traffic on again.
It's just the aircraft ahead of me. We'll see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So if I go the other side of the airfield and fly around the back, I'll be able to watch people coming in. So if you do want to play with the ILS coming into Montpellier, it's for runway 30 right, 108.55 degrees. Sorry, 108.55 is the frequency and 303 degrees is the course. It would appear that the towns and villages along here have been modelled in extreme detail.
I give up. I think my joystick is faulty.
Have you tried reseating the USB?
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Some dodgy bloke sold it to me.
Way you treat it.
Wonder who that was.
It's literally shooting left and right.
Could be a driver issue, I guess. There was a Windows update, wasn't there, this week?
Oh, what's this?
Big one. I had to restart my computer about 3 times.
Well, I have restarted the PC recently. Last few days.
I'm being able to do a restart because of the updates.
Yeah, it's literally shooting left and right. We've been playing up for a week or so now. More than that. Was it last week I couldn't carry on? All of a sudden it turns turtle.
So what racetrack is this that I'm about to pass?
The Montpellier racetrack. Is it horses or cars?
No, it's a race car track. A big one.
Paul Ricard, is it?
Looks like Grand Prix style.
It does. I'm just trying to think.
The Grand Prix was at Paul Ricard today. Is that Montpellier?
No. I'm just trying to figure out what this track is. It's vaguely familiar. Miraval, yeah, Goodyear. They own it. It must be a test facility, I guess. Okay, so over to the left, start to see the outskirts of Montpellier.
Tanker in my scenery.
Is that your add-on?
Yeah, that ship's thingy.
Got another crane in the middle, literally in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, I have visuals on the airfield. So, if I fly circuits down one side of it, I should be able to see everybody approaching.
I honestly don't know how you managed to find the time to do all that, Jonathan.
What, to film and fly?
Yeah, you must be like a one-arm paper hanger. I was always told that males can't multitask by my wife.
Who says John's male? You made a massive assumption there.
Yeah, I do enough washing up.
Yeah, I get that feeling sometimes.
Yeah, so all those...
You're just being good boys, that's all.
Don't they say stereotypes are there to be broken? Right, I'm going to start circling, waiting for the nav lights to appear from the evening sun. Awful lot of people going out towards the ILS.
I've changed aircraft, it seems to have solved my problem momentarily.
So what were you in before?
PA-28, I've just changed to another PA-28. Rock steady at the moment. All the time I was flying a helicopter, it was absolutely fine.
That's the F-35.
I've been to Montpellier, I can't remember why.
Oh, there, someone's got a helicopter that I'm seeing as a hovering A320 by the look of it.
The F-35.
Oh, okay. I think the F-35 holds the record for causing the most crash to desktops of any third-party add-on, doesn't it?
I've had one time so far.
Yeah, I remember when it first came out, I'm not sure if the bug was in the sim or the plane itself, but Into the Blue tried to review it on YouTube, and he had 8 crashes while trying to review it.
I'm on the Xbox, so you would think I would have more, but I only had one, so fingers crossed.
I think in the early days there were serious issues with it.
Oh, look at that. Wonders will never cease. I've captured the ILS.
Let it go.
I better slow down a bit.
Jesus, look at that lineup going in. Must be all of 5 seconds apart.
Landing straight into the sunset.
All going to park up on the grass here by the look of it. I'll take the spot here, that'll be me. Whistle stop and a coffee.
Yep, that's the idea. 5 minutes then, and then we'll get on our way again.
That's a strong 8 knots.
That's mad, isn't it? The number of people that are here this evening. We've got far more in Discord than we have on the ground here, so just having a look on.
Because they're not using transmitter.
Oh no, we're not all parked in the same place. Some people have parked elsewhere. That's all
I've
fine.
parked back up there.
Yeah. I just joined the group that had parked up along the grass. Very cool. Yeah, there's only probably about half the people using transmitter as well. Just having a look through, so we've got myself, Andrew, Beckett Senior, Crunchy Bob, Dirk, Dingbat, Fern, David, John P, Tom, Patrick, Jim, Graziello, Mark, Merciless Bow, Marnicle, Nigma, Rock, Akela, November Mike Echo 18. November Zulu Echo Charlie Mike. Adam, Jason, Poncho Villa, Ryan C, Sultan Reich, Seren Gwent, Sosa 123, Sparky, and Sultan 29. Very cool.
Okay, I have a question for the general population. Has anybody either got or uses First Officer Next for the A320 fly-by-wire? It's a co-pilot system.
No, then.
Yep. Someone said yep. Who's that?
Yep.
Okay, Tom. How'd you find it?
I'm looking for no. Sorry, I haven't got it.
Oh, hello everybody. Thank you for the bright plan.
Okay, so it appears that nobody uses it. Thank you.
Don't do the tube liner at all. Strictly GA.
Were you hoping for a recommendation, Jim? Or
well, yeah, because
opposite?
it's payware. So I mean, I've looked at the videos and a review of it,
Have
and
you
one from the guy that's made it.
Have you seen the system that Aerosoft sell to plug into the various aeroplanes?
FS Crew, is that?
FS Crew, I think it's called, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, I'll have a look at it.
Yeah, they used to sell it bundled with some of their aeroplanes years ago, because they made their own A320 for P3D, and it had. But I think they might have made FS Crew for some of the others, like the PMDG, maybe.
PMDG had it. Personally, I hate it.
It
Well,
gives
the
you.
First Officer Next, you get the co-pilot to do things for you, and you can pick and choose what you want him to do, whether it's a flow, whether it's a checklist, anything.
Yeah, it's FS2. It's number 2, isn't it?
Yeah,
FS2 Crew. I know Aerosoft used to sell it, but I'm guessing you can buy it straight from them as well. But you'll find reviews of it on YouTube anyway. I'll send you a message, a link to it. Actually, I'll stick it in. Where should we put it? In the general channel.
Okay, thank you.
Question, Jonathan.
Yep.
You did a tutorial on putting together events. Where did you put it? Because
I took it down for the moment.
Is that why I can't find
yeah,
it?
it's probably easier. If you want to do an event, just send me the details and I'll write it up for you. It just makes it easier to do it. Because there's so many moving parts to put in an event in.
Yeah, okay. Just send you a flight plan and you'll do the rest.
Yep, pretty much.
Especially if you go and put it on Microsoft.
Yeah, because you need as Patrick found out recently, you need an account there, and you need to have used that account for a couple of days before they'll let you post anything. And yeah, it's a real pain.
And it's not intuitive, is it?
Well, I thought it was.
You would, but nobody else would.
Is the invite channel working?
Yes, invitations, yeah.
Yeah, because I noticed not many people, put up invitations. So
no, they just don't. So that's why I was kind of pushing it again. So
I sometimes do it, but only with about half hour's warning.
It could be the time of year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Patrick's right. A lot of people are on holiday at the moment, anyway.
Yeah.
Well, it's out of season.
I think so. The amount of people on here tonight.
Well, we've got a lot of people on that we don't see very often, or we only see for the events. But of the people that are here for the event this evening, perhaps a quarter of them actually do hang around in the server throughout the week, now and again. you know, and we'll look out to see if anybody's flying.
I think it's brilliant.
Brilliant. It notifies you as long as you put at everyone. It notifies people, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. But again, we're all in different time zones, and everyone has different things going on as well. So it's no surprise that you only get, you know, maybe a quarter or a fifth available half the time.
Well, like you say, there's 1,000 members.
Yeah.
Where are they?
Well, a lot of them were Xbox, and they probably paid £1 to play Flight Sim.
Yeah.
And then canned it because they were busy shooting people in first-person shooters.
It's not serious simmers, Jonathan.
No, but you know, it takes all types, doesn't it? So, and you never know. You could advertise it, get someone in that's never flown before, and you hang on to them, you know, because they get interested.
I've got a problem with my grandsons. They keep coming round and buggering up my statistics.
Well, that's your excuse.
What, they make it look good?
Quite the opposite. They wreck it. I'll tell you, something else just thought of, Jonathan. One thing I was delighted with the new caravan, all my bloomin' Bravo key bindings worked.
Brilliant. Well, yeah, because the base aeroplane hasn't changed. It's just all the switches in the cockpit now work.
Yeah, that's right. It's awesome.
Right.
Just want to be able to get all my other, what do they call it? What's the word? I'll come back when I remember it.
Peripherals. Add-ons. Rubbish.
Liveries.
Oh, yeah.
To get my liveries that are on the standard version over to the new one, there's an article on it in the manual.
There is.
A little bit involved to do it.
So, next leg is 62 degrees, 45 miles over to Comel. So, if everybody wants to get in the air, we can carry on if everyone's back. The usual thing we do after the midway point is everyone take off and just circle the airfield, waiting to see if everybody's on the move before we all set off in the direction we need to be going.
Will I get in trouble if I take off on the taxiway?
No. Natalie's not watching. If anybody doesn't get that joke, my middle daughter had a go at doing air traffic control, and this was about 18 months ago, and I crossed an active runway thinking she wouldn't see me. She has never let me forget it.
Well, I've taken your labels off. I don't know who's who now.
Yeah, I've had labels off the whole flight. It looks much more pretty without them.
Well, you can't read half of them anyway because they're all over each other.
Rather a lot of people taking all.
I expect towards the end of the summer we will get back to doing some air traffic control flights. So for people to have a crack at it that have never done, you know, talking to a tower before. But for the next few weeks at least, we're just going to do relaxed flights and invitationals. I put a load in the calendar earlier. I don't know if anyone saw the updates yet.
I did.
We're going to Japan next weekend, then Minneapolis in the US, because I was looking at the map trying to figure out where to fly, and I suddenly realised there was a circle of airfields all the way around the outside of Minneapolis. Port Puerto Rico the week after that, then the Columbia River at the top of America the week after that, and then Los Nevados in Colombia the week after that. So it's another mountain flight, dodging hills for an hour or so. The interesting thing looking at Minneapolis is there's lots of small lakes with water airstrips marked on them on the map. I haven't used them, but while I was looking, I thought we could come back to there and do a boat plane flight.
Yes.
So I think that part of the US, there are just lots and lots of small lakes all over the place. Okay, are we all in the air?
No, I'm still coming, Jonathan.
Yeah, don't worry.
Started.
Don't worry, I'm watching them on the ground on little nav map, so there's a few with transmitter running. I can see all the nav lights flooding onto the runway.
Here's your quiz then. Which state's registration plates, number plates, has Land O'Lakes on it?
Minnesota.
You've just looked that up.
Because I looked at that flight from earlier and I thought, where's Minneapolis? Oh, it's in Minnesota.
Going to do any midweek flights, Jonathan?
Not over the next few weeks, but that's why I'm saying if anybody wants to do an invitation, if you throw a flight in the invitations, if you do it at like half an hour in advance, you will get a gang of people to go flying with. But you have to remember, I put some notes in the news article earlier. If you write at everyone in the body of your invite, they will get a notification that there's a flight happening.
Oh, good one. All right, I might look at that. I might do something down under here for you.
Yeah. How are we doing in terms of takeoffs? I think everyone's in the air mostly now. Okay, 62 degrees.
You're all looking very twinkly. It's actually really nice. I've got sunset and loads of nav lights. And no lake. There's one very bright white light.
Is that the sun?
No, I'm assuming it's an aeroplane.
Yeah, I think some of the landing lights on some of the models of aeroplane are very bright.
I got a battery overheat, Jonathan. What do I do about that?
Battery overheat. Have you left the starter on? A battery overheat.
Yeah.
Sorted.
If you're in the caravan, are you in the caravan?
I am, yes.
So it's fixed gear, so it's not the gear. You got the lights on, yeah? You got the generator on? It's the on the left bank of switches. It's the far left in the middle. You could try resetting the generator. It flicks forwards and then falls back again to on.
De-ice, anti-ice. Window heat.
I got generator off.
Ah, so if you turn the generator on, the generator doesn't have an off setting, does it? It's just got reset on or trip. But if you reset it, it will recycle it and make note of, you know, what you're doing.
I think so, yeah.
And then start praying.
One of those that says, take to a garage immediately. What's your nearest caravan be?
Needs servicing.
We had a guy refuse to drive a car the other day because it said that. It says, do not drive, call dealer.
There used to be a terrible joke about that, didn't there? About a Nissan main dealer. You ever heard that joke?
Go on.
Well, you can spin the joke out for ages and ages, but it's because it's Nelson Mandela, Nissan main dealer. So you can invent all kinds of stupid jokes around it. Oh dear.
And before they were called Nissan, you could have said, it's all these car parts are falling out of the sky. It's raining Datsun cogs.
Oh God.
You have to be a certain age to get them.
Here's a stupid trivia one then. Do you know what LG stands for?
Oh, it's good.
Nope. You know, it's in the electronics company.
Yeah.
It's Lucky Gold Star. So the cheap electronics manufacturer from the 1980s still exists. They just rebranded.
I remember Gold Star. That's them?
Yes, same company. In Japan, Gold Star was always known as Lucky Gold Star, so they rebranded as LG internationally.
Wow.
There's
sorry, advertising where I've seen Life's Good Then.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because Daewoo appeared in the West a few years back, maybe, I don't know, 15 years ago, maybe now. But in Asia, they were a well-known engineering company, you know, the same sort of size as Caterpillar or anybody like that. That, you know, in all sorts of industries.
You know, it's amazing how many industries or how many companies are owned by Asahi.
Okay, I'm getting invisible aeroplanes happening in the sim for some reason.
Asahi make Pentax cameras, Fizzy Pop beer, all sorts of things.
So I think the multiplayer might be playing up because I've got nav lights but no aeroplanes attached to them.
Oh really?
So I'm going to cycle my multiplayer to a different server and back again. Let's see what happens.
Looks like the wind's favouring runway 17 for Ormond.
Yes.
190 at 7 knots.
So we're just passing over Garrel's Navy airfield.
Jonathan, what's at C208?
Caravan.
Yes.
Aye.
Most common aircraft on here tonight by the look of it.
Popular, not common.
Popular, I beg your pardon. What's this town on the left? It's quite big.
Garrel. We've got a military, it must be a military town, I guess, to have a sizable base like that right next to the town.
No. Neem's here as well.
Yeah, Neem's really ancient city, isn't it?
Yes.
Get a little bit ahead so by the time we get to Como I can circle and watch everybody coming in again. I'm going to wind the clock back again.
Looks like runway 17, is it?
I think so.
Little nav map showing 18011.
If you hover the mouse over the airfield icon, it will tell you what it is on the ground. So in the METAR readout it's saying 190 7 knots. So yeah, it's still runway 17, same thing.
Could be interesting because you got runway 17 left, 17 right.
2 grass strips and a hard one in the middle.
Yep.
Sometimes the grass ones are hard to identify.
Yeah, it's a general rule they don't have light, do they?
So we're going to pass by Avignon.
Still a Pont d'Avignon.
Let's see if Linden's getting a bit of practice in.
Yeah. I wasn't sure what airport everyone's going to.
Right, while I'm en route, I'm going to go along the river.
Big river.
To keep an eye on my airspeed.
I'm going like hell trying to catch up. I got left behind because I wonder why things weren't working properly, and I forgot to swap back to GPS from the NAVMA.
Yes.
After doing the ILS.
It's River Rhone.
Traps for young players.
What's the River Rhone famous for?
Wasn't it one of the ones that the dam busters hit?
Ruhr. That was the Ruhr Dam, wasn't it?
It's the Rhone. It must just be for the wine country, I guess.
Oh, the Rhone. There you go.
The Rhone Valley.
Yeah. Isn't that where that bird come from? What was her name?
Are you referring
Rona?
to a young lady?
Yeah, French.
Brigitte Bardot.
No,
Miriam Mathieu.
no, it's historical.
Oh.
Joan of Arc.
Dark.
No, she
No,
came
she's from a place
Rouen.
called Arc.
I thought it was Rouen.
Well, she was Joan d'Arc, wasn't she? D''ARC.
Joan of Arc, yeah. Mind you, that's family name. That doesn't mean that she was necessarily from there.
No.
It's been interesting actually watching the European Championships because you get some sense with some countries of how their languages work with the names, especially the Northern European ones where everybody, or all the women playing are somebody's daughter.
Over. Yeah, they all end in VA, don't they? Over.
Or not just that, and Dottier as well. So where they might have like a Johnson or whatever, they have John's Dottier.
Oh yes.
English Smith.
Well, yeah, but that's just because of blacksmiths. And that was one of the major trades across the whole world at one point.
Joan of Arc is from Domremy.
Aha.
What's the big black tower in the sim, kids?
No idea.
Anyone care?
I imagine it's going to be a telecommunication tower or something that is just badly modelled.
Yeah, chimney.
I don't see one. Oh,
By the side of the river. I'm coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It could be a chimney.
it is. It's smoking in mine.
You've got the We Love VFR add-on, which would obviously replace things like that, yeah, with the correct chimneys. Okay, I'm just approaching Comont. I'll circle and watch everybody coming in.
It's even got flashing red lights on it.
Yeah. Yeah, and for everybody on the flight, if you've not seen the We Love VFR add-ons for Flight Sim, if you look in, if you get a chance later, in Discord down at the bottom there's a scenery channel, and there's We Love VFR, Project Lifts and Power Lines and Solar Farms. Those three add-ons together, if you add them, if you do a lot of VFR flying, completely transform Flight Sim.
It does with pylons.
It does, it puts all the power lines in between all the pylons, and you can hit them.
Where's that, Jonathan?
In the scenery channel, down the bottom of Discord on the far left.
It's a link.
Yeah, there's any bit of useful scenery add-ons we stick in there. But the other thing that We Love VFR does is puts chimneys in, so any industrial areas that should have chimneys have got smoking chimneys. They've also, all the mobile phone masts are in place. And any, telecommunication masts, the big ones,
And
are all in there.
cranes.
Yeah, and cranes as well, yes.
I've worked out the crane that I saw in the middle of nowhere could well have been being used for putting up a wind turbine.
Right, I'm going to circle the airfield while everybody comes in.
P-38's back.
Been buzzing around everywhere.
Not on transmitter.
Just seen his label going up and down in the sky.
It could be an Xbox, because obviously Xbox users can't use transmitter. So we're seeing the beginning of the train arrive at the airfield.
Oh, that's one of the things that this guy was on about with the next update. Multi-screens.
Yes.
You'll find if you've got enough screens, you can get it set up so you've got a virtual outlook.
Yeah. This is where my dad starts to paint the spare room dark grey to look like the panelling of the 737, isn't it?
You've given him an idea now.
I've never thought of that.
Stapling bits of egg box to the wall then.
I got 2 rows of Fablon. Same grey as the 737 colour.
Then all you need is a little switch you can flick that tells Mum that you want a cup of tea on the flight deck.
RAR 7012. No, 7011. That's the grey that Boeing used.
Oh, that's a bit sad that you know that.
Oh, this is crazy. The stream of aeroplanes. I'm going to turn the lights down a bit to make it a little bit darker so I can see them. There's a Trilander alongside me at the moment. Myself.
Oh, turbulence.
The air traffic controller here will be having a heart attack.
Maybe he's gone home.
Worse than us,
Bit like customs, French customs people.
Immigration. Yeah, I don't believe that's because of Brexit. They've got to stamp the passport. They're just short of staff. Because
that excuse would do, wouldn't it?
Okay, why am I got no thrust?
In 1979, I wanted them to stamp my passport, and I had to argue with them. I had to prove I was out of the country.
I've never, ever had my passport stamped anywhere. The only one thing that was in it was an American visa.
You had it stamped when you went into the States?
Well, basically, yeah, because of that visa. But,
well, they don't stamp them anymore anyway because they're electronic. But that's all been buggered up for us now anyway, but I'm not going to get into it on this flight.
Yeah.
Used to live a charmed life when I went into Europe with work. I could go straight through the airports, both directions, and just scan my passport and walk straight through.
Right.
You're a foreigner now, Jonathan.
We are.
I had an offer from AAA to do the quick pass thing through TSA, but it's $85.
My word.
Yeah, we used to get people at Gatwick, American citizens, saying, well, I don't need passport checks because I've got this thing with TSA. And we used to say, if your passport's not in order, you're not getting on the plane. So, no, but I paid.
If I flew more, I would do it, but I fly maybe once a year, if that, so it's not worth it.
The thing that always interested me in Germany is they would, Lufthansa specifically, would have a couple of staff on hand to pre-check passports. And they would check people off against the manifest to give the people on the gate a head start.
Yeah. For American flights, BA do that. They had 4 people checking passports.
Yeah, I had so many stamps I had to order extra pages for my passport.
See, that's pretty awesome though, isn't it?
Yeah, very nice.
If the airline carries you to a country you're not eligible to enter, they get fined.
Right. That was the story you told the other evening, wasn't it?
That's right, yes. So it's $3,000 if you go to the States without the correct documentation. And you get sent straight back.
It always amuses me. The if you go to the States, for example, the visa waiver document, it asks you, are you a terrorist, basically?
Yeah. How else are they meant to find out?
I guess if English wasn't your first language, you could... I don't know.
We used to get no end of people who refused the ESTAs because they'd put the wrong answer. And we used to have US immigration at the airport. They would say, okay, what's the way around this? There isn't one. Oh, come on, you must have a way of getting around this. No, there's no way. Once you've answered that question incorrectly, you're done for. Then what to go to Orlando to go and see Mickey Mouse? I think you can do it with a new passport. We used to have a there's a hit list, and I can remember there was one crew member who's a first officer. Every single time he was on holiday going to the States, he'd get refused, and we'd have to phone the States and speak to TSA and say, we've got this guy, he's coming up as a blacklist. And I go, oh, wait a minute. And what it is, most times, it's similar name or same name.
Right.
And so you give them the rest of the details, where they were born, date of birth, etc. And they say, okay, they can go. and we only had. There was only one that I know of that got refused because it was the person that was on the blacklist.
Runway we're approaching to grass.
There's 3 runways. 2 are hard. 1 is grass.
15 and 16 are asphalt, and there's a big wide 09 that's grass.
That's the one I'm on.
The asphalt runways are very narrow, just to warn everybody.
Looks like it's the paved one anyway. 16.
Turn the weather back so I can see it. I'm going to do a loop of the airfield to watch everybody again.
The airplane's going very slowly. Before we had the US immigration guys at the airport, we would quite often have to send people up to the US embassy to get new passports, because they don't even like American citizens travelling on expired passports. Even before Trump, it was one of the hardest places to get into. Or strictest.
We flew into Basel, Switzerland, and the chap that was going to the same function as what I was on didn't have his passport. Left it at home. They let him through.
And Swiss are very strict too, so I'm surprised at that.
Because I wouldn't have been too worried going, but to get back home, that's what I would have thought.
We're quite good at letting people come back.
Someone just crashed.
Just doing a few orbits, then I'll carry on the route.
I did more of a slam and go than a touch and go.
Yeah, that was me. I was gonna have to quit, so.
It's time to spawn back in. I keep forgetting.
I'll try.
I keep forgetting the caravan takes a while for the propeller to spool up.
There are no lights, are there?
Right, I'm just going to do the last leg quite slowly. That was 2 legs to go, sorry. I'm going to go quite slowly just to watch the train of lights ahead of me.
I enjoyed it. I think I'm going to exit.
Cool. Thanks for taking part.
Yeah, I love these Sunday afternoon flights.
Yeah, take care. Cheers.
There's a lot of people here.
Well, I reckon there's at least 50% more than you see on transmitter.
Yeah. The scenery in Flight Sim is just ridiculous, isn't it?
It's so good.
I thought we were going to have a whole evening of nobody saying that.
Oh, sorry, I've ruined it now.
Crap, isn't it?
Trouble is, you don't realise how good it is until you go back and look at some of the older simulators.
Just thinking 15
That's
years
right,
from
no.
now we'll be saying that about this.
We will.
See, Orbix has released a lot of meshes for quite a few other countries.
Yeah. There's a similar... So go on.
Sorry, Jonathan.
All I was going to say is it's a similar argument of when you look at movies with special effects in, which what we thought was very, very good even 20 years ago is now really, really poor.
It's compared like the original Star Wars.
Well, not even that, but things like Jurassic Park. In its day, it was difficult to imagine how they could improve on it.
Yeah.
But they have.
Has anybody watched Obi-Wan on Disney?
Yes.
Okay. That's funny. It makes me want to watch the first one again. It's strange.
Yeah, that's the same with... Over time, I've come to appreciate just how good Rogue One is.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I've been watching the what's the not Mandalorian, the other
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett, that's it, yeah.
I've not seen that yet.
Oh, that's good too. I really enjoyed that one.
They can just keep doing this now forever, can't they? Just picking a random character in the background and telling their story.
Yeah.
They're doing it very well, I must say.
Yeah, because there was a new one just coming out.
They're interlinking it into the original stories as well.
Because the guy from Rogue One, Andor, he's got a series coming out. It was filmed just down the road from where we live. So for about a year, there was a wooden shanty town in a load of farmers' fields, and inside that wood that you couldn't see was some of the Star Wars universe.
Oh, wow.
They've made a prequel to Game of Thrones as well, haven't they?
Yes. It's about the Targaryens, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've yet to watch Game of Thrones. I guess I'm going to have to.
It's very good.
It's very good till the ending.
I watched the first two series and then gave up on it.
Yeah.
Well, after season 3, it was just on for the sake of being on.
Yeah, once they leave the books behind, the overarching story disappears and it becomes a soap opera. Which is a shame, but it's still entertaining.
I binge watched it after I'd had my operation.
Being forced to binge watch the Downton Abbey.
See, I watched that as well. That was better than Game of Thrones, I thought.
Okay, is it runway 14 at Les Milles?
Bloody well better be.
I think so.
It does say so. I found out what that bright light is. Well, no, I haven't. There is another one.
It's a UFO.
I thought it's my reflection off my prop, but it's not that. There is still a very bright light.
It's a UFO.
Yeah.
Well, it actually is. It's an unidentified flying object.
Yes.
It's a leading light.
Oh, it's gone.
They use a different acronym these days, don't they? Is it Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon?
Something like that.
Updating it.
And there's USO now too.
Oh, the sim's just frozen for the first time this evening.
What does USO stand for?
I'm not sure, but I know it's underwater.
Unidentified submarine object.
Something like that.
It must be. I think a lot of that's come about because there's a new... Well, I don't know how true any of this is, or if it's just, fantastical articles on the internet. But there's apparently a new generation of torpedoes that make a bubble of air in front of themselves so they can go crazy speeds underwater.
Really?
Wow.
I don't believe that because if a propeller gets air in it, it's not efficient.
Fellas at the back.
Yeah, but you can use a rocket engine underwater. So if you can somehow have a cushion around the physical object being pushed through the water, it's not, it's not being... It's not going to destroy its propulsive force, let's put it that way. It's looking to make a hole for itself in the water.
Takes away the drag coefficient, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I guess it's a similar idea to these swimsuits that were banned, that use like shark skin texture. The idea is it traps tiny bubbles, and it, like you say, removes the friction on the skin.
That's interesting. The tiniest propeller's not going around.
Chimney coming up.
That Game of Thrones prequel, David, is filmed in Cornwall. Partly.
Charlestown. Everything else is filmed there.
It's out on the 22nd of August.
Chimney goes on about the power station. Cool towers as well.
There's something big coming up on the horizon. Is that a chimney or
Yeah.
mega blast?
Station.
Recording tower there as well.
Final leg, 24 miles, 127 degrees to Le Castellet.
We might need a little bit more altitude here.
Yeah, there's a few hills on the way in, aren't there?
Yeah.
And there's another one of those rogue chimney type buildings.
I've got 2 cooling towers and a big chimney that's smoking.
Aha.
One of the cooling towers has got it's mist, isn't it? Sorry, it's steam coming out of the cooling tower.
I think the F-35 with its Airbus cloaking device has just come past.
Not even a small Airbus, is it? It's a big bugger.
Yeah. Did you see in the news that there's a 757 coming to Flight Sim? Was it a 7 or was it an Airbus A350? I can't remember now. I'm gonna have to go and have a look.
I don't know.
It's there's a 737-600 coming. 757 from Bluebird Simulations apparently. Never heard of them before, but is the 757 one of the ones that can do extreme ranges? Wind the clock back again. Give myself a little bit of daylight.
Jonathan, where did you put that link to Ghost Story?
I haven't got it yet. I'll do it once I've landed.
Thank you. Whereabouts?
See, he's not that good at multitasking, is he?
No. There's a huge cloud of nav lights ahead of me. It's quite surreal.
I reckon this, where I'm flying over now, looks like an extinct volcano. It looks like the crater.
Caldera.
Slowing down.
See the runway now, a bit of slow down.
Yeah, full stop.
Yep, final destination.
So I'm just formatted with a Kenmore Air Caravan. So the unwitting star of the movie.
I see you behind me.
Jonathan, did you get simple traffic?
Yes. Yeah, I'll worry about paying for it when the credit card bill comes in. It's very good.
Well, the main thing is it gets rid of those horrible default liveries.
It does, yeah. If anybody hasn't seen it, Simple Traffic is an add-on for Flight Sim. Is it just Flight that sell it?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was, yeah. So it's a simple add-on that...
Aerosoft.
Oh yes, it's Aerosoft, yes. It retextures all of the AI aircraft. So it puts them in appropriate carrier liveries for the part of the world you're in.
So for GA aircraft?
No, more for the big planes, but I think it does do GA as well. But for the big carriers like the A320s and the 737s and 747s and stuff, it puts them in. So say if you went to Heathrow, for example, you're going to find a lot of British Airways and the international carriers. So you're going to find Ryanair and Virgin and Canada, Air Canada, sorry, and Air France. But if you went over to New Zealand, obviously you'll see a lot of New Zealand liveries as well.
Qantas.
Yep, Qantas in Australia.
Jetstar. No, we get a lot of Qantas here too.
But in the US, you're going to get obviously United, Southwest, all the rest of it. So all of the AI aircraft are repainted to look sensible, basically. I imagine the reason they can't do it with, from Asobo themselves is licensing. But quite what Aerosoft have done, maybe they paid it in the past and have arranged with each carrier to be allowed to use the likeness of their liveries. Final airport.
Bags that parking spot.
So where's everybody parking?
There's quite a big apron.
All over.
There's plenty of room.
So this is Paul Ricard, which is where the race was today.
Quite a good race. Did you watch it?
Mm. Yeah, it was a shame Leclerc binned it. Really, it ruined the race. Really.
Yeah, I still can't work out what happened to him because
he binned it. He admitted afterwards he made a mistake.
Yeah, he said it was totally his fault.
Yeah. He just went into the corner too fast and lost the back end.
It just shows you he was under no pressure at all. the limits that they push the cars
Yeah.
to must be absolutely right on it.
Okay, flaps up.
Did you see Johnny Herbert and Sebastian Vettel in the 100-year-old Aston Martin?
No. Is it good?
Yeah. 100 years old, it used to do 100 miles an hour apparently.
Oh my word. It's probably got skinny little tyres as well.
And, yeah.
They were death traps, weren't they?
Yeah, but they didn't know any better in those days. Real men.
Yeah, only a third of them are left alive.
I think the mortality was worse than that, wasn't it?
Oh.
1 in 3. Oh yeah, that's a third.
I remember, I think Damon Hill was being interviewed, and he was like looking back at his dad's era, even. So, as recent as the 60s, early 70s, there were still people killed nearly every weekend.
Oh, that was one of the worst eras.
Yeah.
Jim Clark and Jochen Rindt and so I mean, there were lots of people killed.
Trying to find somewhere to park.
And horrific accidents too. And that was because of people like Colin Chapman building death traps.
Yeah.
Weren't interested in how it cornered or how it stopped, and it went quickly.
Just have a quick look at the map. I think we're almost all in. There's a couple more to come. Just watching them on approach. There's a helicopter over there. So Golf Lima Foxtrot Sierra Golf is just coming in, runway 12.
Racetrack is right against the airfield, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, that's the Paul Ricard racetrack.
Yeah. I've gone up in the air. I'm on
the drone camera. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like a helicopter coming in here, but it's got wings.
Yes.
Yeah, very good turnout.
That was good fun. Thanks everybody that turned up this evening.
Yeah, thanks, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you, gentlemen. Very nice flight.
See you next week.
Thank you very much, guys. That was great.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jonathan. See you next week.
See you soon.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, 7:30. See you
Good night,
then.
all.
Thanks.
See you. Bye-bye.
Right, no, thanks, Jonathan.
So next week is Yokohama to Gifu in Japan. If anybody wants to go and do it and set up an invitation throughout the week, though, take advantage of this server now, because we've got so many people here. There's always going to be somebody that can go flying with you, whatever hour of the day you want to go, to be honest. But just remember to put @ everyone in the body of your invitation.
Well, thank you, Jonathan.
Make sure you spell it right.
Yeah. We know somebody who didn't, don't we?
I think I put a double Y in it, didn't I?
I can't remember.
My blamey keyboard. Anyway, night everyone.
Yeah.
Good night.
Night. Night.
Right. Let's see if I can shut this airplane.
Good morning. I'm going to have breakfast now.
In the future.
You enjoy that.
Thanks again, guys. Great flying you.
See you soon.
Yeah, bye-bye. Is there a way that I can get rid of what's it called? Discord, so I can just shut it down once and not have to go into the bottom right hand menu.
Yes, in the cog, in the settings for Discord, go to Windows Settings and make sure all of the set switches there are off.
Right, okay.
Because I imagine what's happening there is it's saying minimize to tray, and that will get rid of it. So yeah, you just go to. So somebody was asking me about putting a link in for something, and I've forgotten what it was already. I'm sure it will come to me. Right, I'm logging off for the evening. Thanks ever so much, everybody.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks.
See you soon.
Bye now.